Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started.
Okay.
Today we're diving into Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. You ready to unpack this
Yeah.
charming small-town romance with a dash of rivalry?
Absolutely. This story takes the classic enemies to lovers trope and spins it in a way that really grabbed me. It's not just about the romance, it's about family,
Right.
ambition, and facing your fears.
Right. We meet Emily, our protagonist, an elementary school teacher who is deeply rooted in her hometown, Rome, Kentucky. She's strong, independent, a bit of a perfectionist,
Yeah.
and definitely guarded when it comes to her emotions.
You can tell right away that Emily has built walls around herself.
Right.
She's happy to focus on her students and her family, but letting someone else in, that's a whole different story.
And then enters Jack, her former college rival, who unexpectedly moves back to Rome.
Oh.
I have to say their history is not exactly filled with warm and fuzzy memories.
It's more like a series of misunderstandings and bruised egos.
Yeah.
Jack was the charismatic guy who seemed to effortlessly succeed, while Emily felt constantly overlooked. You can see why they both carry a bit of baggage from those college days.
That awkward tension explodes when they have a run-in at Harriet's Market.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one where Jack accidentally causes a soup can avalanche?
Oh, gosh.
Talk about a recipe for disaster.
That scene is hilarious.
Right.
But it also sets the stage for how the town perceives them as sworn enemies.
Yeah,
It's a classic case of judging a book by its cover, right?
exactly. But things get even more complicated when Jack buys the dilapidated house next door to Emily. Talk about close quarters.
Forced proximity at its finest. Suddenly they're bumping into each other constantly, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
And through these forced interactions, we start to see those carefully constructed facades crumble.
Their banter during the renovation is so witty and revealing.
Right.
It's like they're both testing the waters, pushing each other's buttons, but also maybe intrigued by what lies beneath the surface. And then comes the motorcycle ride, which I think is a pivotal moment for both of them.
Okay.
Emily reluctantly agrees to go with Jack, and it forces her to confront her fear, literally and metaphorically.
Right.
That ride is symbolic, isn't?
Yeah.
She's clinging to him, but it's also like she's taking a leap of faith. And Jack, for once, isn't the one in control.
Right.
He's meeting her where she is being patient and supportive.
It's also a moment of shared vulnerability. We learn that Jack, behind that charming exterior, also has his own guarded nature.
Right.
He understands Emily's hesitation because he's been there himself.
Oh, and then there's the whole drunken email fiasco. Emily accidentally sends a rather unprofessional message to her principal.
Oh, no.
And she ends up needing Jack's help to break into the school and delete it before it's too late.
Oh, my God.
That scene is pure chaos.
Yeah.
But it's also where their connection really starts to deepen. They're literally sneaking around in the dark, relying on each other. And their witty banter masks a growing sense of trust and understanding.
Great.
It's like that shared experience forces them to drop their defenses a bit, to see each other as flawed, human, and maybe even a little bit lovable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And amidst all this chaos, Emily is also trying to finish her novel.
Okay.
Remember the scene where they're blocking out a particularly emotional scene for her book? Jack's insights into her characters challenge Emily in a way she hasn't experienced before.
Interesting.
That scene is electric.
Yeah.
The romantic tension is palpable.
Oh, yeah.
And it's clear that Jack sees right through Emily's defenses. He understands her characters because he understands her, even if she's not ready to admit it.
And then, boom, the bombshell drops.
Right.
Jack reveals that he's secretly A.J. Ranger, a successful author.
Oh, wow.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Emily is understandably furious.
Yeah.
She feels betrayed and starts questioning everything she thought she knew about him.
Right.
I mean, who wouldn't be thrown for a loop?
It's a classic case of secrets and misunderstandings, creating a rift between them.
Right.
Emily's trust has been shaken, and it raises all sorts of questions about authenticity and the foundation of their budding relationship. It's interesting how Emily's reaction to Jack's secret mirrors her own struggles with vulnerability.
Yeah.
She pours her heart into her writing, but she's terrified of sharing it with the world.
Yeah.
Especially someone like Jack, who she's starting to have feelings for.
Right. She's so afraid of judgment and rejection. And Jack's success only amplifies those fears. It's like she's convinced herself that she can't possibly measure up.
And then comes the scene that really broke my heart. The
Oh,
critique from Colette,
oh
the
yeah.
literary agent. Emily's dreams are basically crushed under the weight of those harsh words.
Oh, that scene was rough. You can feel Emily's devastation, and it triggers her deepest insecurities. It makes you think about how fragile creative dreams can be and how easily self-doubt can creep in.
And what's fascinating is how Adams uses this setback to highlight the importance of family. Emily's sister Madison comes home, and their conversations are so raw and honest.
Hmm.
They challenge Emily's fierce independence and remind her that it's okay to lean on others,
Right.
to let people in.
Madison is such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
She's not afraid to call Emily out on her self-sabotaging tendencies,
right.
and she reminds us all that sometimes the best medicine is a sister's love and a good dose of perspective.
The book doesn't just focus on Emily's journey, though. We also get a glimpse into Jack's complicated relationship with his father, a successful author who is both critical and emotionally distant.
It's heartbreaking to see how Jack has internalized his father's negativity. It explains his guarded nature and his fear of being seen as just an extension of his father's success.
It makes you realize that everyone carries wounds from their past, and sometimes it takes the right person to help us unpack that baggage and heal.
Remember that scene at Hank's bar where Emily finally lets loose? She's dancing with her siblings, laughing, genuinely enjoying herself, and Jack is watching her, and you can see this shift in his perception.
That scene is so significant
Right.
because it's the first time Jack sees Emily truly relaxed and carefree. He's falling for the woman she is beneath the armor, the woman who deserves to be loved and cherished just for being herself.
But just as they're starting to connect on a deeper level, the gossip about Jack's secret identity starts swirling around town. And Emily finds out not from Jack directly, but through whispers and rumors.
Talk about a blow to the trust they've been building. It's a classic case of miscommunication and bad timing.
Right.
Emily feels hurt and betrayed, wondering if she even has a place in Jack's world now that everyone knows who he is.
And then just when things couldn't get any more complicated, Jack's father releases a video publicly revealing Jack's secret identity as AJ Ranger. It's such a calculated move, a blatant attempt to take credit for his son's success.
That betrayal is devastating. You see how deeply it wounds Jack, how it triggers all those insecurities about his worth and his talent. It makes you realize the lasting damage narcissistic behavior can inflict even on someone as successful as Jack.
Emily's reaction is fierce. She's furious on Jack's behalf, recognizing the manipulation and control his father has exerted over him for years. It's in that moment that you really see the depth of her love and loyalty.
Absolutely. She's not intimidated by Jack's fame. She's outraged by the injustice he's faced. And her unwavering support empowers Jack to finally confront his father and break free from that toxic dynamic.
That confrontation is so cathartic.
Yeah.
Jack finally draws a line in the sand, refusing to be a pawn in his father's games any longer. It's a powerful moment of self-discovery and liberation.
It's like he's finally shedding the weight of his past and stepping into his true self.
Right?
The successful author and the man worthy of love without needing his father's validation.
In a truly vulnerable move, Emily decides to reveal her own secret to Jack. It's a risky move, but it shows how much she trusts him.
What's her secret? I'm trying to know.
Well, it turns out that Emily has been writing under a pen name too afraid of judgment and the possibility of failure. She shares her manuscript with Jack, baring her soul and trusting him with her most cherished dream.
Wow, that's a huge step for someone like Emily, who has always kept her guard up.
Right.
It shows how much their relationship has evolved, how they've moved beyond rivalry and mistrust to a place of genuine connection and support.
And Jack's reaction is everything you'd hope for. He's not threatened by Emily's talent. He's excited for her.
Aww.
He encourages her to pursue her dreams, promising to be her biggest cheerleader every step of the way.
It's beautiful how their individual ambitions, instead of driving them apart, actually strengthen their bond. They're not competing with each other. They're celebrating each other's successes and offering encouragement during setbacks.
Now with their secrets out in the open and the drama with Jack's father behind them, Emily and Jack are free to explore their relationship and support each other's creative journeys.
And that's where things get really interesting, don't you think?
Yeah.
We see them navigating the complexities of love, ambition, and the area of vulnerability. But this time, they're facing those challenges together as a team. Yeah, they really seem to find a good balance.
Just when you think things are settling down, Adams throws another curveball.
Oh, no.
Remember Jack's ex-fiancée, Zoe?
Oh, yeah, what about her?
She suddenly reappears in Rome, claiming to regret her past actions and wanting Jack back.
Oh, Zoe. Her return definitely stirs the pot.
Yeah.
It forces both Jack and Emily to confront unresolved feelings and insecurities. You start to wonder, are Zoe's intentions genuine, or is she trying to reclaim a life she once took for granted?
Emily, being the amazing woman she is, encourages Jack to meet with Zoe and get closure. I was so impressed by her maturity and selflessness.
Me too. It would be so easy to let jealousy take over, but Emily recognizes that Jack needs to address this part of his past in order to fully move forward with her.
Right.
It shows a deep level of trust and understanding.
The encounter between Jack and Zoe is charged with emotion and regret. Zoe expresses remorse for her infidelity, but Jack realizes their relationship is truly over. He's grown changed, and his heart is now firmly in Rome with Emily.
I love that even though Zoe's return creates tension, it ultimately strengthens Jack and Emily's bond. It reinforces the fact that they're choosing each other not out of obligation or fear of being alone, but because they genuinely want to be together.
And with that chapter closed, they can finally focus on building their future. They spend their days writing, supporting each other's creative endeavors, and simply enjoying each other's company. It's
Oh,
so heartwarming to see them find this rhythm together.
it really highlights how love can foster creativity and personal growth.
Hmm,
They're not threatened by each other's successes, they're inspired by them.
right.
They create a safe space for vulnerability, risk-taking, and the pursuit of their passions.
And then comes the ultimate gesture of support.
Okay.
Jack surprises Emily with a trip to a writers' conference. He's not just her lover, he's her biggest champion, opening doors for her and believing in her dream, even when she struggles to.
That conference is a turning point for Emily. She meets other writers, gains valuable insights, and starts to believe in herself and her work more than ever before. It's like she's finally finding her voice and her place in the literary world.
Back in Rome, the town embraces Jack's newfound fame, and Emily's family rallies around them, both creating this wonderful sense of community and belonging. It's heartwarming to see how their love story has become intertwined with the fabric of their town.
I love that sense of community. Rome isn't just a backdrop. It's a character in itself, providing a sense of warmth, support, and unconditional love for both Emily and Jack.
Inspired by the conference and her growing confidence, Emily takes a leap of faith and sends her manuscript to more agents. It's a courageous step, putting herself out there, despite the fear of rejection.
And her bravery pays off.
Right.
She receives an offer of representation from another agent, validating her talent and proving that Colette's harsh critique was just one person's opinion. It's a reminder that success often comes after setbacks and that perseverance is key.
The novel ends with Emily and Jack, hand in hand, ready to face whatever the future holds, both personally and professionally. They've navigated rivalry secrets, family drama, and the ups and downs of the publishing world, and through it all, their love has only grown stronger.
Their journey reminds us that love can conquer all that vulnerability is a strength and that dreams are worth fighting for, especially when you have someone by your side who believes in you as much as you believe in yourself.
Beg, Borrow, or Steal is more than just a romance. It's a story about self-discovery, the power of family and community, and the courage to pursue your passions even when fear whispers doubts in your ear.
It's a book that will make you laugh, cry, and believe in the transformative power of love. It's definitely a must-read for anyone who enjoys a heartwarming story with relatable characters and a satisfying happily ever after.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.